Nobody told me suffering was optional. This is the Daily Dose of Dawn at Dawn, number 49, videos designed to expand your thinking. I want to thank you for joining me out here on the leading edge, having conversations about the things that we can think about and feel about that make our lives harder to live. When you can address them one at a time and find workarounds, you can find you do a lot less suffering. Years ago, as I was knee deep in rebuilding my life, I ran all sorts of experiments on myself by asking myself questions. And one of the questions I asked was, what happens if I don't think about my suffering? My suffering isn't going to go anywhere. I have lifelong issues. So, what happens if I just don't think about it? To be fair, my default was miserable for the first 41 years of my life. I was in a long term relationship with suffering, like in every area of my life. When my kids were little, I ran the recycling program for the PTA, and once a week, I would take my youngest to the recycling place to turn everything in and collect the cash for the class events. One day I posted this. I dragged over this disgusting, filthy, stinky metal cart with equally gnarly trash bins on top of it to fill with the glass I had to recycle. I noticed this little guy and a buddy as I was dragging it along. The leaf was a foot away. By the time I got the camera set up, this was 2011, he had found the leaf and climbed onto it. And I found it was such a cool shot in all the filth. That little moment, that green leaf, that little slug, that filthy cart, it became the most unexpected teacher. And even though my reality didn't change, in that moment, something inside of me did. Have you ever had that happen where your perspective just shifted suddenly and you started living differently? It's kind of magical, to be honest. Have you ever had that happen where your perspective just shifted suddenly and you started living differently? Noticing all these randomly beautiful things shining anyway, despite the dark, really helped me find the beauty of being a human being living in a faulty meat suit. It helped me see that my life could still be beautiful, even though I was tired and in pain all of the time. All these lovely distractions help me understand that when I fill my head with the intent of hunting down cool things to look at, or seeing faces and things, or learning new things online, I think about my suffering less. And that's got to be a good thing, right? So I decided to be intentional about it and run an actual experiment on myself and find out exactly what happens if I don't think about my suffering, past, present, or future, for a whole month. This was a great challenge for me because I had spent most of my life suffering in one way or another. And during that month, when my mind went to highlighting what happened to be miserable about in that moment, I would give myself empathy. Yeah, hey, that sucks. Move on. Let's not think about that till next month. Okay. The end result was, well, of course, I still had my symptoms. I mean, 9 disabling disorders. There's always going to be something going on in here. But my mind became a better place to be while I went through it. I was cheering myself on instead of lamenting. This happened back in 2019, and I still live this way. I'm doing some fascia work in my hips, and it often feels like I've got broken glass in there. And I thank my hips for continuing to guide my legs, and I focus on what I'm doing to help them do that. Stretching, trigger point massage, not getting stressed out about stuff, not swirling around in a pit of misery, which I totes used to do. And if you do too, I get it. No judgment. I still sometimes have a pity party for one, and I cry it out and I blow out my candle and I get back to being a badass. If you're still here, I know you also find ways to try and forget your suffering. It's the warrior lifestyle. So hopefully this encouraged you to keep doing that or gave you some new ideas on how you can go a little deeper with it. But either way, drop a heart in the comments so we can see you.